You know, it's amazing to me how so many people can watch one specific show or read a book and come up with something completely different, a conclusion that's completely different from what another person would view when it comes to reading that same book or watching that same show. Opinions vary, and it's just amazing to me. But one thing that truly does blow my mind when it comes to opinions and how people come to their conclusions on a subject is subjects like Benjamin Sisko, Captain Benjamin Sisko from Deep Space Nine, and how so many people apparently believe that this man should be tried as a war criminal.
In exactly 1 hour, I will detonate 2 quantum torpedoes that will scatter trilithium resin into the atmosphere of Solosus 3. I thereby will make the planet uninhabitable to all human life for the next 50 years.
Okay, so we all know the reasons why Sisko did this. He was so desperately trying to get Eddington. There's a little bit of a rivalry between the two of them, and Eddington was always one step ahead of him. But Sisko figured out that Eddington liked to play the hero from his favorite novel, Les Miserables. So Sisko came up with the plan to become the bad guy, forcing Eddington to do the ultimate sacrifice and give up himself to save the Maquis from Sisko's rampage and poisoning the rest of the Maquis planets.
Trilithium resin is dissipating throughout the biosphere. The Maquis are scrambling their transport ships. They're starting to evacuate.
I'm going to eliminate every Maquis colony in the DMZ.
Now, this was a gutsy move on Sisko's part. I mean, completely out of character for who he is. But it just goes to show you, when you push him to the edge, he will do what he has to do to get the job done. But this episode right here has got many people asking, why isn't Sisko being arrested and charged with war crimes? There is definitely plenty of evidence to prove that Sisko was obsessed with getting Eddington. There is also plenty of evidence to prove that the Federation and Starfleet would have approved with no problems what he was doing. Sometimes we have to go to drastic measures, great lengths, in order to defeat our enemy.
What are you prepared to do? Everything within the law. And then what are you prepared to do? He pulls a knife, you pull a gun. He sends one of yours to the hospital, you send one of his to the morgue.
That same rule applies here. Sisko did everything he could inside the rules, inside the Starfleet protocol. And then, what was he prepared to do? He had no choice. In order to get Eddington, he had to go outside the box. He had to break the rules in order to get his man. So I said to you before that there was evidence that proves Starfleet would approve of what Sisko did in poisoning the planet to get Michael Eddington and cripple the Maquis. And the first piece of evidence comes from the Season 7 episode Descent of Star Trek The Next Generation. Admiral Nechayev has boarded the Enterprise to basically chew Picard out for allowing a mortal enemy, the Borg, or rather Hugh, to go back to the Borg. They had a program that could have crippled the Borg, but because Hugh's individuality started emerging, Picard felt it would be wrong. And Admiral Nechayev just laid into the man.
You could have taken the opportunity to rid the Federation of a mortal enemy, one that has killed tens of thousands of innocent people and which may kill even more. Your priority is to safeguard the lives of Federation citizens, not to wrestle with your conscience. I want to make it clear that if you have a similar opportunity in the future, an opportunity to destroy the Borg, you are under orders to take advantage of it. Is that understood?
To me, it's very clear that the Prime Directive and all the principles and morality lessons that they are taught through Starfleet Academy has nothing, will all be pushed aside if their existence, their way of survival, their way of life is threatened by a mortal enemy. Now let's go back to Deep Space Nine, the second season, episode The Maquis Part 2. Our favorite admiral shows up again.
And Commander, I want you to find the Maquis. Talk to them. Remind them that they're citizens of the Federation, that it is imperative that we preserve the treaty with the Cardassians.
A treaty the Cardassians may not be honoring. There is a treaty currently in place with Cardassia and the Federation. If you make yourself an enemy of Cardassia, you make yourself an enemy of the Federation.
That is outrageous.
Agreed.
Think about Admiral Janeway. From the moment they got into the Delta Quadrant, how many times did they violate the Prime Directive? Yeah, I know the Federation wasn't there and they were on their own, but they made a promise that they would honor Starfleet and the Prime Directive from the moment they started their journey back home. And not only that, at the end of the series, they killed the Borg, or rather poisoned the Borg, enough to where the bulk of them slowly died off. And what was the punishment Janeway received? She got promoted to Admiral. So now back to the original question. Is Benjamin Sisko a war criminal? Well, perhaps he is, but in Starfleet's eyes, I'm willing to bet that they gave that man a pass and probably tried to give him another award because he preserved the Prime Directive, he preserved the treaty with the Cardassians, and he brought a criminal to justice. Yeah, he poisoned the planet. Yeah, he did. But I seriously doubt that he got punished for that. Well, I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments on this one, my friends, so drop those comments below and let me know. Until the next time, God bless.